So I honestly I want to make this video because I didn't even know about this because as I've said many times, I don't watch the news. So I didn't know about this. Just trying to. There we go. So I didn't know about this until I looked it up. Didn't know about it, but in my opinion, I believe that this was purposely done to because if you read it, most of these have already been fulfilled. Most of these have already been fulfilled. The diversity that's already been done with a new language already been done. That's already been done. I mean, these are supposedly owned by Freemasons and built by Freemasons. Now, we all know that the Illuminati, they do things they'll destroy their own stuff. They'll destroy their own stuff to further another agenda. That's what I believe this is. I believe that so many people are saying like, oh, this is a act of rebellion and all that. This is a good thing. Well, you should realize that the Illuminati, one, have already fulfilled half of their agendas. In turn, this is not an act of rebellion. You really think some random person could just blow this up and get away with it with how powerful the Illuminati is? Get real. This is not, and again, this is been everywhere, all over the news. It's agenda. It's a script. That's how the Illuminati play. Because you gotta ask yourself, why would destroying this accomplish anything? Because one, it has all the Illuminati's agendas on it. So smashing it really wouldn't accomplish anything. It seriously wouldn't accomplish a thing. Half of these agendas they've already fulfilled, but I'm not falling for it for 1 second. I know the agendas of the Illuminati and how they will destroy their own stuff. What will probably happen, they've destroyed it themselves, and they'll make a new one with New World Order agendas. Because if you think that this is the Illuminati losing, think again. The Illuminati are in control of everything. They create little events like this to like, oh, the Illuminati are not losing. No, they're not. They're the most powerful people in the world for a reason. Anything that's put on the news is an agenda. That's what you gotta understand. Anything put on the news is what they want on the news. Because this is no doubt probably agenda. As I said, I believe in my opinion that this was purposely destroyed. Purposely. Now, I couldn't access the Facebook page to this because obviously, I've said many times I've been banned from Facebook. I had that thing where basically either someone hacked my Facebook or whatever, but every single time I create a new account, I get locked out of it, and they say prove that you are the person running this account. That's what I come across, but it's been there for years. The New World Order Commandments, aka Georgia Guidestone, But again, in my opinion, like I said, I believe that the Illuminati did this to one, because you got to think of it, if they destroy it, they get rid of most evidence. They get rid of most evidence. Two, the Illuminati don't really lose anything anyway from this being destroyed. They don't lose anything. They're still in control no matter what. I don't believe for 1 second that some random person just blew it up. I don't believe that at all. I don't believe it at all, especially with the nation America. They're all for the Illuminati. They're not against it. So, as I said, everything that they're probably going to remake it, or it's probably they're going to do it's going to be connected to something. They're going to do something, probably a agenda or something, more security or something like that. But as I said, in my opinion, I'm not believing this for a second. I'm not believing it. I don't believe it at all. It does not seem like to me a rebellion at all. Some random person just blows it up and they're not caught. With how powerful the Illuminati are, get real. Because as I said, half of their agendas are fulfilled. They're fulfilled. Half of them are. But we already know the agendas anyway, so as I said, destroying this really didn't accomplish anything. It didn't accomplish anything. Me, it just seems trying to cover the tracks. Because the Illuminati is not stupid. And they have monuments like this all over the damn world. So destroying that one doesn't really accomplish anything. They're still in power, like I said. And as you see, it says rule, passion, faith, tradition, and all things. They already do that. So most of these agendas, like I said, have already been fulfilled. So why do they need this? That's what I believe it is. They destroyed it themselves, and they're gonna make another one. They can easily just rebuild this and make a new one. They've got the money, and it'll contain new agendas. Because you gotta get real. The population is almost nearly near that. Let's get real. They've already done this, improving fitness and diversity. They've already fulfilled that agenda. Unite humanity with a new language. They've already done that. Real passion, faith, tradition. The real passion and the real faith and the real traditions in this world. The real faith. How do they rule faith? Through controlling churches. Basically saying that you have to go to a church to be in contact with God, which is nonsense. They control passion. They control it all. They control it all. Still have that photo from before. But you look it up. You look it up. It was supposedly created by the Freemasons. So, as I said, you really think that this could happen and they get away with it? I mean, get real. I mean, honestly, get real. Because again, this is who controlled the world. Well, this guy's probably dead now, I believe, but it's not just these people. These are the people that control Freemasons. I mean, all these Freemasons, and it's supposedly called the Templars. Man, I'm not buying it. I'm really not buying it. I really don't have any proof that this could be an agenda, but as I said, don't fall for it. They'll probably build another one, and it'll be right back up where it was. Because as I said, most of these agendas here have been fulfilled. So why didn't they don't need it anymore? They really don't need it. And you even look it up. Because you look at it, it's so-called destroy, and of course, Alex Jones is there, of course. Now we know it is an agenda. I mean, you really think that somebody could just blow this up and get away with it? Get real. The Illuminati are powerful for a reason. Well, it could simulate a phoenix rising from the ashes. We'll just rebuild another one. I mean, or it probably did simulate something. Honestly, probably did simulate something. Because everyone's thinking that, everyone's basically thinking that this is an act of rebellion. Actually thinking that people are against the Illuminati. Most people ain't. I mean, that's obviously fake, but you really think that happened? I mean, I mean, and this just seems to me like, as I said, this was. Let's see what this says. The elite won 80% of his dead. Well, yes, it's not just 80%, but I believe this is. Yes, I believe this is probably fake. Probably is fake. It most likely is fake, these screenshots, because I don't see it, I didn't see it. But even if it was, the Illuminati are so powerful that they can just rebuild another one. They can literally just build another one, and another one, and another one. And again, we all know, like I said, they create these events. They've been doing it for years. Obviously, they can't mention certain ones. They can use, probably this is an excuse to do more, taking people's rights away. It's probably what it is. Let's see what people say. I know that Georgia is a new world order because it was destroyed by a human, and do you know that they have blood on the top of Guidestones? They have another one in the UK. I mean, there you go. So it really didn't accomplish anything. Destroying this really didn't accomplish anything because there's multiple of them all over the world. So destroying one really didn't accomplish nothing. As I said, I just believe it's one big psyop, that they did it deliberately to, one, probably cover up the tracks, or it's connected to an agenda. Because why destroy it of all now? Why of all now and destroy it? I mean, why have they all decided to so-called destroy it now? Said I don't believe it. I just think it's a psyop, and there's probably an agenda behind it. See if there's anyone saying anything about it. because it probably simulates something. Yeah, so destroyed and controlled demolition, the same as 9/11. So if it was done in a controlled demolition, that means they done it. It wasn't because a controlled demolition has to be done by professionals. Some random retard. You really think some random moron could know what they are doing, destroying a statue? No, they couldn't. They're too dumb. Especially if those were the things that were writ on it. Do you really think people like that would know how to do a demolition? No, they wouldn't. Probably simulates their agenda, because usually with the Freemasons and all that, they destroy something to simulate the rise of another agenda. Like turns into like ash and like crumble, and out of it arises like the phoenix. Because again, Georgia is as far as I know, it's Freemason controlled by, riddled with Freemasonry. And you see it everywhere. Anything that's on the, and I guarantee you, if they probably did find the person, they'd use it as an excuse to do more control over people's freedom. That's what I said. They do create agendas to take people's rights away. This is why I said, again, there's another one. There's multiple all over the world. So what did this really accomplish? Nothing. It accomplished absolutely nothing. And again, it was demolished again after a blast, which is a controlled demolition. So to me, as I said, it seems like an agenda. May be wrong, but it's just my opinion. You got to be awake and be vigilant these days, and not fall for the Illuminati psyops, because they control everything. I mean, the people that created Freemasonry goes all the way back to the Scottish, and it goes all the way back to the Egyptian Empire. That's how long Freemasonry's been going on. I can't tell you who originally created Freemasonry, because obviously I wasn't alive by then, so I can't tell you. Legend back again with another. Well, I'm not a legend, I saw this, and I saw somebody make a video about it as well. They were like, "Oh, this is a good thing. This is a good thing," even though the monument is satanic and it equals 666. I still don't believe it that it was taken down. And as I said, even if it was, we know for a fact that they control they do these agendas. Like, we look up. This one, Law and Order, we all know they've had everything planned. I'm still trying to find out what this card is for. It says, when you look at the word solidarity, it says a group of people, basically a movement. Now, to me, that card looks like it's two men holding hands. So, who knows what that card's for? But again, they've done many agendas, many. Martial law, surveillance on people, taking the rights away. Many agendas they've done. And as I said, as I mentioned on BitChute with the gun control, they keep doing these things to make more gun control. Everything that they do has an agenda behind it. This basically is by uproar. So again, the rebellion that people think that's happening is all planned. Real smart people that are anti-Illuminati do not go out and do dumb stuff like that, because you're giving them what they want anyway. They're going to win. You are giving them what they want. They'll just throw your ass in prison for the rest of your life. And what have you really accomplished? Nothing. It's just a psyop. Because all this stuff, this is what they want. They want this to happen. They want a massive uprising and a rebellion to happen so they can bring in martial law, state of emergency. When people were rioting and that, the president was talking about bringing it in state of emergency. This was when Donald Trump, I believe, was president. That were talking about bringing in state of emergency, which, if you look up state of emergency, is martial law. But as I said, even if it was destroyed by some random person, still doesn't matter, because they want this to happen. Either way, whether you rebel against the government or the Illuminati, you're not going to win. That's what people need to understand. You ain't going to win. You're never going to win. Because they have they've been planning these agendas since the beginning of time. Because it goes back to the devil. So they know what they're doing. They've created backup plans. Many of them. So either way they win. So doing stuff like this, they win. Because if you start rioting in the streets and doing all that crap, they can just take your rights away and put you under lockdown. And there's nothing you can do about it. Once you're under lockdown and they put you under lockdown, you can't do anything about it. I mentioned it in the video on BitChute, that why they want to take guns away so much. It's because of this. You get rid of guns, you can't resist against the government. They can force martial law in, and you can't do anything about it. You can't resist. That's why they want guns gone. It's nothing to do with protecting people at all. It's an agenda. It honestly is an agenda. Who create, so there is a time capsule under where it was. It does not have a date to be opened exactly. So usually time capsules, they have a time to be opened, but go back, because I actually saw that in the video. It's here somewhere. I believe it's over here. Yeah, it's there. It's right. It's either here or here. So I believe, I don't know what, but I guarantee it'll be rebuilt or something. I just really have a feeling there was an agenda behind this. So something honestly doesn't feel right. It really doesn't. And considering that the media basically is promoting it, seems to me that, because as I said, anything that the media promotes is an agenda. It honestly is. It's literally everything, because if you study the news, literally everything that they put on the news is a planned event or agenda. Because the news is just a script. That's all it is. It's just a script. They read off a script. And exactly, everyone knows that. I mean, that's not something that isn't obvious. Of course, Obama. But most of these people that say F the New World Order are for the New World Order. or the what you call fake woke. They act like they're against the New World Order, yet they'll support certain movements. One place has no Guidestone in Brazil because Brazil night that night Brazilian night that killed Freemasonry. They'll blame people like us on what happened to the Stones, and that's what I believe it is. I believe it was just an excuse. They'll blame it on say, oh look how these people act, and look how the way they act, the rioting and all that, more surveillance, because the agenda where people want to cancel the police every single time, where they want to cancel the police and say all the police shouldn't exist. You do realize that creates more basically surveillance, because when a lot of police got fired and all that after these riots and protests and all that, more surveillance came up. This is just facts. You can go look it up. More surveillance popped up, more cameras. So the more you rebel against the government, the more they win. The more they win. They're gonna win. As I said, they've had this planned. But if this crap gets built again in the future, then it disproves it. Now they are faking, and exactly. And if you know it, most politicians, I don't know whether it's true, are cloned. They have a double. Well, that's actually a fact, to be honest. They do have doubles, so they can make out like president's been assassinated, and then the real president can just hide. Because the presidents do have a double. They honestly do. It's a fact. But as I said, even though this is a satanic monument, I mean, why even, this is what gets me. If this was so-called legit, why haven't they destroyed this? Satanic. This never got destroyed. Why didn't this get destroyed? This was unveiled. There's multiple of them in many places. Why has nobody destroyed these? I'll tell you why, because it's all bull. It's a lie to act like these people are rebelling against the government when they're not. It's a trick. It's a literal trick. Because that's what there's people in the Truther movement that are set up by the Illuminati to infiltrate. That's what it is. It's to gain the trust. A lot of them do it. But why isn't this statue been destroyed? Now, I'll be real. If this was a random person and it had nothing to do with the Illuminati, I wouldn't really care. All these monuments didn't exist. It says, I will smash your engraven images to the ground. Basically, none of these engraven images should exist, or monuments. That's all they are, engraven pagan crap. But as you say, and as I said, it was blew up. Why would they admit that it's satanic? That's what I mean. Why would they admit that it's satanic? Unless there was an agenda behind this. Why would they admit that it's satanic? It's probably going to be taking people's freedom away, most likely. Or it's most likely there's the mockery. Well, that's what it's supposed to look like now. That. But his fault isn't there a saying though? Basically, I'm sure you destroy something and then rebuild it. Because we all know the Great Reset, and smashing something like the pyramid or something would simulate the rebuilding, meaning the starting a new agenda or starting a new a plan. That's usually what it simulates when something's destroyed. That they're starting a new agenda. But as I said, I don't believe for 1 second it was destroyed by some random individual. Because there's many monuments all over the world, and why haven't they been smashed? Why haven't they been smashed? Now, if this was an actual rebellion, we'd see this going on all over the world, that multiple of these monuments being destroyed. If it was a so-called rise up against the Illuminati, why is it this one? Because again, I think this has, if you know anything, this is Egyptian. No, I spelled it wrong. So why it doesn't come up anything? Egyptian. Because if you look, there's literally no information now. I mean, the good thing to do is, if you want to get rid of evidence, just smash it up. Evidence is gone. Nobody can prove that. And that's what I said. You've even got one there. There's multiple of them around the world. Multiple. Again, the Eye of the Phoenix. I believe this happened on the 4th of, I think the 4th of July. I actually don't know when this actually happened. But if it happened, it's funny that 4th of July, if it did happen on the 4th of July, what else happened on the 4th of July? Obviously, I can't mention it, but this is the full one. Avoid petty laws and useless officials. Let all nations rule internally, resolving disputes at world court. Now that'll be like that coexistence crap. Well, world peace. I mean, there's multiple of them here. I mean, because it was getting old anyway. So, protect people and nations with fair laws, which is garbage, because they don't do this. Avoid pay laws, so balance personal rights with social duties. I can barely read the rest of it. prize. I think it says prize, truth, beauty, love, seeking harmony with the infi- infinite. What that's supposed to mean. But these are agendas. The new language is probably some alien language with their New World Order crap. But I am completely anti-Illuminati. As I said to me, it seems like the Illuminati did this. That's what it seems to me. So that's what date it happened. Happened on 7th of the 7th, big ritual date. So probably was a ritual. They destroyed their own stuff. That because if you actually do look up, the Illuminati do destroy their own stuff. They did 9/11. That's destroying their own. That tower was owned by the Rothschilds, and they destroyed it. So yes, the Illuminati will destroy their own stuff to do an agenda or to cover stuff up. Why was 9/11 done? Because most of it, if you look at the documentaries, there was evidence exposing a lot of the occult. So they had to get rid of it. And also 9/11 was just an excuse so they couldn't invade Iraq and start a war with a nation for no reason. I honestly don't know. It just looks like water or something. So the agenda is seen through people on Twitter right now. They are saying some stuff about religious people that do not represent us. Exactly, get the people fighting amongst one another. Blame it on. That's what they want. They want people fighting against one another. That's exactly what they want, people fighting against one another. Then you don't realize who the real enemy actually is. So was the English language section the first to go symbolic? Who knows? Because we know that the Illuminati speaking in a symbolic language through symbols. But it probably was, as I said, probably most of these agendas, like I said, have already been fulfilled. So why would they need this monument anymore? If every agenda has been fulfilled on this chart, because the population is very low, why would they need this monument anymore? They'll just smash it down and rebuild another one and put more agendas on it to be fulfilled. Well, I don't know. But as I said, none of these monuments should exist anyway. Destroy to rebuild, exactly. That is the misunderstanding. That's what I was talking about. Basically, what I was trying to explain through the order, basically through the rising of the phoenix. They destroy something to simulate that they are still in control. Because what this really sends, if the Illuminati destroyed it, is saying how powerful they are, and they're saying, we'll destroy our own stuff. We'll take out our own people, because that's what the Freemasons do. If you speak out against the Brotherhood, or even if you don't speak out against the Brotherhood, they'll take you out anyway. They'll sacrifice you to the devil. They've done it to many people. Many celebrities they've done it to. That we're going to expose the elite, and then suddenly they die. People like Chester Bennington, basically, he had information about the pedophile rings, and then suddenly he just dies. I mean, the government is powerful. They can make out like somebody. It's called the Secret Service. If you know anything about the Secret Service, they can make out like you. They can take you out and act like you did it yourself. That is a known thing that the Secret Service do. I think this is symbolic to do with Western deep pop agenda. But as I said, I really do believe there's an agenda behind this. Because if it was so-called a rebellion, where's the other monuments being smashed? You'd see, if this was an actual rebellion, you'd see multiple stuff being smashed. You'd see a Baphomet statue being smashed. None of it has. This monument is worthless. And it's not. It's literally, the Illuminati don't care about it. I mean, they really don't. They've got multiple of them in many nations. I seen a few videos on the event and it looked like a lot like Jew. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. If you mean the other word, obviously I can't say that. But I don't know what you mean by that word. I honestly don't. But as I said, there was information that I found. Basically, it does equal 666. It's connected to the basically, and again, the Egyptians, I mean, America, they have another statue like this, and it's in Washington. I believe it's Washington, where it's that massive, like, triangle pole that goes up that represents a phallic. So they have multiple of these statues. So it doesn't matter if you smash them or not. They've got thousands of them. But it really doesn't come up anything. I don't know why. I think this is it. So you see it's destroyed. There's a stupid video. It's so again, this would have been a ritual. 666. They perform a ritual. So they take it down. It's just a ritual. A 666. So 322 Skull and Bones and the Georgia Guidestones out with the old and in with the new world order. There you go. They destroy it, they bring in a new one. So again, may be the most movement in the US slabs, so inscribed directions for rebuilding civilization after the apocalypse. Only one man knows who created them, and he's not taking photo. The strongest monument in America looms over a barren in North Georgia. 5 massive slabs of polished rise out of the earth in a star pattern. And again, star, what does a star represent? Satan. Because what is a star known as? An angel. Lucifer, known as bright morning star, son of the dawn. So again, and again, the capstone, I'm sure it says something in the Bible about something associated with Lucifer. So approaching it's hard to think immediately of England or possibly these great awaiting the end of the world as we know it, called the Monument of Mystery. Nobody knows exactly who commissioned it or why. Well, it'll tell you it was the Freemasons. The only clues to its origins are nearby plague in the ground, which gives the dimensions and explains a series of notches and holes that correspond to the monuments of the sun and stars. So you see, this is a ritual. This is a ritual, and the guides themselves are carved into the rocks. These appear in 8 languages, ranging from English, don't know what language that is, not going to pronounce it. There you go again with the New Age, alien agenda, some more improving fitness, others prescribe mysticism, prize truth, beauty, love, seeking harmony, all their agendas, narcissism. I mean, I'm probably not going to read this all, but you can look it up yourself. I mean, I'll just post the link. I mean, because I found the evidence, not my information. Give the person credit. So if you want to read it yourself, links there. I'm only going to read a few more. So there's a strong delusion, which has come up upon the land, gilded by a deadly hand of darkness lurking behind the scenes. Eternal death. So it represents all these things. See the spirit of masonry. Exactly. They were founded 666 years after the founding of the Rosicrucians. So again, obviously, it's been destroyed by the Illuminati. Seems to be like a ritual. I'm going to mute it, of course. This was on the news. So yeah, I mean, because this would take a lot to make these stones. You can't just smash them. And I mean, it's 666. I mean, this woman kind of doesn't look like a woman, but and you see right now they're knocking it down. Why would they knock it down? So again, they're going to rebuild it. Clearly, they're going to rebuild it. So, and it'll contain new agendas. I guarantee you, it'll contain new agendas. As you see, they're knocking it down. They'll rebuild it. What does rebuild? They're rebuilding simulate new world order, a new agenda. So as I said, why would they destroy it? You see, because this is obviously they'll knock it down, remake it. Because usually this is used to basically knock things down or basically take the rocks and move them. But I doubt it's for moving the rocks, because you look at the rocks, they don't even look that heavy. Let's go back. Though you could pick them up. These ones here you could pick up. So I reckon that, as I said, was for them knocking it down. Now, why would they knock it down? Because they're gonna, usually when things are knocked down, they're gonna rebuild it. So yeah. Oh, now if wouldn't surprise me if this was insured, because the 9/11 tower, that was insured. They destroyed it so they could get the money. And it also was a blood sacrifice, and also it was many agendas behind the 9/11 tower. So yeah, clearly they're knocking it down. Whether it's been fully knocked down yet, who knows? Well, so obviously that graffiti was clearly bullshit, because you don't see it here. If there's no graffiti here, and then you see the front of it, so again, those images were probably bullshit. There's no graffiti here. None at the front, none at the back, and there's none at side. So clearly that was bullshit. Clearly photoshopped. A font it was. I mean, who knows? I mean, they do have those laser guns on their little... Remember the Australian fires? Where they use that laser. But anyway, I didn't want to make this that long. I just wanted to bring this to people's attention. Who knows? But as I said, none of these monuments should exist anyway. But I believe it probably has an agenda behind it. So yeah. The graffiti was from 2008. Well, that's probably why it's gone then. So yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Take care. And anyone watching this back, just let me know your thoughts. I mean, I may be wrong.